Welcome into another episode of 15 Sports Plus. I'm Audrey here to keep you in the loop of all that's going on in the Madison area and beyond. And what a week we're coming off of. Well, there's not a lot of Badgers to talk about because they're coming off of their bye week. There was a whole lot of football action in the high school realm to talk about. So let's get into it. It's week 7 already, which is incredible that I'm already saying that, but what a week it was. One of the craziest results of all, Lodi topping the undefeated L-Cats 24-7. The Blue Devils, ever since falling to Columbus in week 3, outscoring opponents 103-7. Lodi now 5-1 on the season. And how about our game of the week last week? Columbus shocking Clinton with a 42-0 shutout win. Cougars fall to 4-2. Cardinals now 5-2. They're getting ready for their biggest tests yet, which we'll get into in just a little bit. But first, another upset with Marshall beating undefeated Cambridge on their home turf, 21-14. Cardinals quarterback Brady Kleinheinz nearly perfect on the night, passing 6 for 7, 2 touchdowns along with 1 rushing touchdown. Marshall now even at 3-3 on the season. Another huge game happening over at Monona Grove, who tops the Sun Prairie East Cardinals 21-16. Makai Fowler having himself a night for the Silver Eagles. 184 total yards, 1 touchdown to help guide MG to its 5th win of the season. Star Sun EP running back, though, Brady Kaufman going down with an injury and would not return for the remainder of the game. Hoping for a quick recovery for Kaufman. And undefeated Edgewood getting a little bit of a scare over in Lake Mills against a very good 0-5 Lakeside Lutheran team. Down 14-0 early to the Warriors, but the Crusaders being the Crusaders, crawling their way back all the way to a 49-34 win to guide them to 6-0 on the season. A big part of that, well, we'll get into that in just a second, but first, we've got one more game to cover from last week. How about Darlington advancing to 6-0 on the road to a very good Fenimore team, only letting them score in the 4th. 37-6 is the final over the Golden Eagles. These Redbirds are scary, which brings me to our game of the week this week. Jocko will be heading down to Darlington, as this may just be one of the biggest games of the high school football season so far. Lodi on a tear as of late, beating Lake Mills. Big game, 24-7. And Darlington, they're getting ready for their biggest test yet, also coming off of that win. Should be a good one on our hands. And we also do have another great slate of games this week. How about Columbus taking on Lake Mills? I will be at that game and looking forward to that one. Both 5-1, Columbus coming off of an early loss, Lake Mills, a rough showing against Lodi this past week. And Edgerton and undefeated Evansville. We haven't talked a lot about them just yet, but they are having themselves quite the year as well. And Sun Prairie East now without Brady Kaufman. They will be facing Waunakee, and they are having themselves a season. And also kind of on the Lake Mills area, Mount Horeb Barneveld traveling over there to face a good 0-6 Lakeside Lutheran team. Will they be able to hold off on Mount Horeb just as they did Edgewood, We'll have to wait and see. And DeSoto 4-1. They'll be on the road at number 5 Belmont, who is 5-1. And I told you we'll be back to Edgewood. The Crusaders now 6-0 on the season as they gear up for, as head coach Jesse Norris puts it, the meat and potatoes of their season. Next up, a very good 3-3 Stoughton team over at Breese Stevens Field. And now as the Crusaders get ready for their final 3 games, even undefeated, Norris is keeping his eyes open to ways they can get better.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to sit here and say, I think we're good. Yeah, right. Like, I think we're fine, but no, I'm also like a fault of mine is I like to nitpick. Like, no matter if we're 6-0 or 0-6, like, I'm always going to be details. We can get better in every aspect of what we're trying to do. There's a humble approach to recognizing and understanding, like, we're doing a good job, and the guys are doing what we're asking them to do, and we're seeing it, and we're being successful. And it's not necessarily kind of a pat on the back. It's more so just an acknowledgement and a recognition. Like, hey, you're doing phenomenal. Like, I love the way that you work. I love the things that we're doing on the field. But let's approach it this way next time. Like, let's figure out a way that we can grow on this and continue to get better, because we're getting into the meat and potatoes of our season.
And while we're on the Crusader note, I feel like this is the perfect time to announce our 15 Sports Athlete of the Week this week, quarterback Gannon Bagstad, who is not only having himself a senior season, but he is having himself a last 3 weeks. Now, based on what is calculated from week 3, Bagstad has totaled 629 passing yards, 8 passing touchdowns, 165 rushing yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. The senior's recent 5 touchdown showing guided the Crusaders to its comeback win over Lakeside Lutheran this past week, and it's something that he credits to a recent conversation with his offensive coordinator.
The first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I noticed I wasn't playing up to my standards personally, and I actually texted Coach Kimmis, our offensive coordinator. I said how that week and from then on I was going to have extremely detail-oriented practices, and I feel like that made me just have a big jump personally, just noticing the little things and doing everything right instead of just the big things. And now doing the little things right makes me do the big things right, and it's really been paying off. And then we've been implementing that as a team also, and I think it's been extremely helpful.
Now that was just a sneak peek. We'll have a whole lot more on Gannon coming up later tonight at 6 and 10. So make sure to stay tuned on 15 News. And of course, make sure to stay tuned on all of those games throughout the week that we will have coverage of tomorrow in Friday Football Blitz at 10. We'll have a whole lot of games. And if it's anything like we had last week, we have a good one in store. But we're going to take a quick break. We got a whole lot of Badgers. Even though they were on their bye week, we're going to talk to Badgers coming up right after this break.